Hey guys, Andrew Shrout. I'm here in the sideboard with Braun-Duin. How's it going, man?
It is going fantastically.
That was a beautiful pose that you struck.
Thank you. I was, jumping into the thinker.
I saw that.
I had to answer your question, so it's hard.
Yeah, it's a beautiful pose for a beautiful deck. You've brought a spice and
I thought you were
brew.
going to say a beautiful man, and I'm a little disappointed that you didn't. But,
No.
All right, let's continue.
Come on. You got to work a little harder than that to earn those
fine,
kind of props from
fine.
me. The junk Constellation, the deck.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here to praise today. So tell me a little more about why you chose to play this deck and kind of where it spawned from.
Well, I started with a green-white Constellation deck with Sphere of Safety and the like.
Right.
And I basically had the fear. Like the deck was like fine, but I was just really afraid that I would have like a Sphere of Safety locking my opponent out, and then they would cast Attention Sphere and I die, or something like that. So I got a little scared about playing that, and I was like, I want to try Doomwake Giant instead of Sphere of Safety.
Okay.
So I tried out our beloved 4/6 Giant, and I have never looked back because that card is actually really, really good.
All right. So the deck kind of has the green core, Courser of Kruphix, Sylvan Caryatid, Eidolon of Blossoms. That's the glue that ties us together. And then Doomwake Giant, the kind of the new hotness.
Yes, yeah.
All right, so tell me a little more about this card. What makes it so good?
So as just like a 4/6 body, it's already pretty big.
Yep.
And a lot of times when it comes into play, it immediately will kill a couple of things, like Elvish Mystics or Lifebane Zombies. I've killed a lot of Lifebane Zombies, things like that. But the real engine happens when you start chaining enchantments together with it, or if you get multiple Doomwakes in play.
Sure.
You can just start wrathing your opponent pretty much every single turn.
Okay. So once your engine gets going, you're just giving your opponent's team -4, -4, -12, -12. Just things tend to go nuts.
I was able to kill 2 Blood Barons, and then my opponent had to leave his Obzad into block, and then I killed that the next turn.
Oh, that seems reasonable.
Doomwake's done some doom.
All right. Now the other black card that is not something that has traditionally seen a lot of play so far in Standard in its tenure. You've got Brain Maggot in your deck.
I do.
How's that been for you?
It's actually been fantastic. So Brain Maggot wasn't in my original list. I actually posted my list on Twitter saying, looking for a good 2-drop.
Okay.
And thankfully the Twitterverse responded with, old Mags.
Nice.
And,
old Mags.
Yeah, old Mags.
Yeah.
Mags has been great for me. I have stripped many a powerful spell.
Okay.
And triggered my Eidolon or my Doomwake or whatever in the meantime. So
Twitterverse had your back then.
They did,
All right.
yes.
Thanks, guys. All right, and then you actually have another 2-drop.
I do.
That is kind of a recent player. It's an old card at this point, but it has recently kind of stepped into the Standard spotlight. You've got Mana Bloom.
I do.
So I heard you saying that. Kevin Gerhard, who's also doing very well in this tournament with this same deck.
Yes.
He had considered cutting a Mana Bloom, and you just told him that's the worst thing. Never ever cut Mana Bloom from this deck. Why is that card so important?
Yeah, he wanted to play the deck, and he's like, yeah, I want to cut like a Doomwake and a Mana Bloom from your list. And I was like, do not cut either of those cards. They're both insane. Mana Bloom, basically what it lets you do is if you have an Eidolon or a Doomwake Giant in play, you can cast the Bloom for 0, trigger their abilities, and then next upkeep, you pick it back up, cast it again for 0 the next turn. It's just an infinite source of recursion for Eidolon of Blossoms and Doomwake Giant to just trigger their abilities over and over and over again.
Okay.
And on turn 2 can also serve as a mana accelerant.
Sure. All right, so just kind of does it all then.
It does it all, yes.
Important early for mana acceleration, important late for shenanigans then.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, fair enough. I do love shenanigans.
Yeah, shenanigans are the best.
So tell me a little about how you think this deck is positioned. What do you want to play against with this deck?
Well, honestly, I didn't know for sure until last round when I played against Mono Blue.
Okay.
And Master of Waves did not defeat Doomwake Giant.
That's fair.
So I think I'd like to play against Mono Blue more frequently because, giving their creatures -1/-1 surprisingly good.
Okay, fair. Mono Blue kind of seems like it's on the downswing, at least for this tournament. I've seen very little of it at all. But hopefully you have some other good matchups out there.
Yes.
What are you hoping not to play against?
So I'm kind of hoping not to play against Burn. I think Burn's kind of a bad matchup. I actually beat it in this tournament, but it was very tight, and my opponent mulliganed all 3 games. So kind of got a little bit lucky to escape that. But I think Burn is just really one of the worst matchups. Also, sometimes the Rev decks, you're pretty much going to lose game 1, and my sideboard's super heavy against them, but sometimes it's hard to win both post-board games.
Sure, bringing in, looks like 4 Thought Seizes and then a bunch of difficult to answer permanents. Just kind of the major transition to hopefully solve that matchup.
Yeah, odds of that being one of them.
So we just finished round 6.
Yeah.
You are 5-1.
Yes.
Tell me a little about how your tournament has gone so far, then.
So I got destroyed round 1 on camera.
Okay.
Garrick, Caller of Beasts, called many beasts.
All right.
They did me in. And since then, it's just been smooth sailing. I've had some tight matches. Had a really, really close one against a junk mid-range deck. But Eidolon of Blossoms and 3 Underworld Connections with 3 coursers, I was able to almost mill myself out, but did win that game.
Eidolon of Blossoms trigger, not a May. You must draw those cards, by the way.
Very true, very true.
So it's a tricky situation that comes up.
Yes. But other than that, yeah, it's been awesome. So
cool. All right.
I've been giving people the old shake and wake.
This is the Doomwake Giant impression.
Yeah, that's the Doomwake. The Doomwake.
He worked on this for like 20 minutes before we started recording, by the way.
Yeah, I did actually.
It's a real thing that happened.
Yeah.
But I will be rooting for you to take down this tournament, to
Awesome.
shake and wake everyone else.
Okay, now you're gonna shake and wake my hand.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh well. Did I wake it?
You didn't wake it.
All right. Well, let's try that again.
All right.
I don't know what a wake is, but
Yeah, that was a wake, but
good luck.
it counts. Thank you.
Stick around. We've got plenty more coverage coming of the Standard Open here in Indianapolis.